Welcome to my review and overview of the new Italian destroyer line with Carlo Bergamini instead of Fulgosi as a commander. I've set all these ships up with Bergamini since he was released with these Italian destroyers here in early access. You will get a much better concealment setup here with Fulgosi, as I can demonstrate here on the Torpedo here. It's rated at 97, 5.6 kilometers, and this is with a double concealment setup here on Fulgosi, which is not really all that great. If you go with Bergamini, you'll see that the concealment goes right out the window at 5.9 kilometers. It's not really that much different, but it is a little bit of a difference. So just getting a few tenths of a kilometer difference in a concealment is why I went with Bergamini. I feel that he does have some traits which are worth investigating here, and with his setup I went with Louis Villette for an inspiration to improve the destroyer detectability time after firing the main guns, and then I went with Deng Shishang. This is another option for double concealment inspiration on your normal destroyer commander setups. When you're looking to do double concealment, his destroyer detectability is improved by almost 3%, as is the torpedo damage. And here Bergamini is set up with a subsurface venture, which helps the torpedo speed and the launcher reload time, but you do take a hit on the main battery reload time. This helps out concealment yet again, and I went with perceptive here, and the unique skill is talented, which improves the torpedo damage per 1% HP lost during a battle, I would presume, as well as improving the destroyer torpedo damage while inside a smokescreen. So that's kind of cool. That's definitely a unique skill. His base trait is Per Lenore Italia, which improves the incoming damage from shells, torpedoes, and bombs to your destroyer for every 1% HP that is lost. All right, and that is his difference compared to Fulgosi. The other option is Fulgosi, who's been around for a while. He's been in the game for well over a year. His base trait is in the fog, which is smokescreen deployment time is improved by 8%, and then normal double concealment setup here, and contact is imminent, which just improves the torpedo speed, and look at me now, which maxes out the concealment. And I haven't really checked out any of these other options. I think I'd rather have better concealment than a smokescreen deployment time improvement. And I don't care about the speed necessarily. That doesn't really save my bacon 100% of the time. Here I went with back in stock rather than perceptive because I did this when I was full school. I haven't really played any matches with Fulgosi lately. And I went with smoke in the water here instead of sidestep, and your normal unstoppable right here. So those are your options, is Fulgosi or Bergamini. And like I said, because Bergamini was released with the destroyer line, we're checking out all these destroyers with the Bergamini, and all the concealment of all the destroyers are not necessarily spectacular. So here with Sorrow, this is grade 1 camo only. This is 5.5 kilometers. A lot of tier 2 destroyers, tech tree destroyers, are down around below 5 kilometers anyway, and in some cases even below 4.5 kilometers. So this is a huge hit here on the Italian destroyer line, is the concealment all across the board. So let's go down here, 5.6 kilometer concealment, 6 kilometer for the tier 4, tier 5, 6.5 kilometer, and the tier 6, 5.9, but that is with a fully upgraded camo. With a grade 1 camo, this would have been like 0.3 kilometers worse, so it would have been 6.2 or so. So you don't really get that much from fully upgrading your camo, but a fully upgraded camo will help the incoming fire dispersion. So that is another reason to have fully upgraded camo, even though it may not make a big difference on the concealment side of things. So let's check out the torpedo reload specs here. 61-second reload time, and this is pretty good on this ship, and that's one of the features along with the 10-kilometer range. So concealment is bad, but the torpedoes are actually pretty good. That said, I've probably gotten more of my destroyed ships in standard matches with the guns here. They reload every 7.2 seconds with the tier 6. They reach out to 10.5 kilometers. You see what the damage numbers are there, but this is 6 guns, and it does seem to chunk up the opposing ships, especially destroyers, pretty well. And for all the ships, I pretty much went with, on upgrade slot number 1, I did go with the main battery mod 2 to help out the traverse speed. So the other thing the Italian ships have, in addition to bad concealment and so-so specs on the torpedo reload, especially at the lower tiers, the traverse speed was horrendous, so I went with main battery mod 2 across the entire Italian destroyer line. So the other thing is all the Italian destroyers across the line have semi-armor piercing shells, which can deal consistently high damage when they penetrate armor, but no damage for ricochets, and they don't start fires either. So that's probably pretty obvious, but that was mentioned in the overview screen, was they don't start fires. So I thought I would mention that here. The other thing is all the Italian destroyers in the Italian destroyer tech tree line are equipped with rolling smoke. And each of the durations is not really all that great. Smoke generator duration is 30 seconds here on the tier 6 Tarago. Smoke screen disperses in 10 seconds. So after 30 seconds, you've got maybe 10 seconds to figure out what your next maneuver is going to be. And you don't want to be sitting around thinking you're okay with the smoke like a quote-unquote normal destroyer. Here, let's check out the tier 5. 25 seconds with a 10% dispersion time. So this is even shorter of an amount of time you will be in the smoke. Let's check out the tier 4. 25 seconds again. Tier 3. 25 seconds, and tier 2, 25 seconds. So you have to watch the smoke screen duration, because it is not as long as you have possibly been used to in the other lines of ships for other nations. And that is basically the overview of the Italian destroyer line. Poor concealment. Torpedoes are so-so at the lower tiers. Smoke is not really all that, doesn't have that great of a smoke screen duration. And yeah, the guns are better than you might think, at least in my experience. But a lot of people find the Italian destroyer lines kind of frustrating because of the poor concealment, I think is what it is. So, well, that's it for the overview of the Italian destroyer line. You can look for reviews of individual ships as they're going to come out. I've got the Avier coming up here pretty soon, so that's one ship that I was able to get a review on, so look for that. But in any event, let me know what you think down below. How you set up your Italian destroyers. I'm sure I'm missing something, so there is that. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like it.
Abbiamo distrutto un incrociatore nemico. Corazzata nemica individuata. Caccia torpediniere nemico affondato.